Hey, it's Kathleen Acker, the author of The Game of Life. And I just wanted to hop on here and give whoever's watching this a little bit idea about why I'm so adamant about having a course on Speak Your Truth and igniting the hero within. It's about awakening that voice that's been suppressed, that voice, that part of you that's been told to be hushed or to not speak your truth or to stand down, that part of you that's been bullied, whether it's innocently, about questioning authority or even at work, like you don't want to get in trouble and you want to obey even though you don't think that they have jurisdiction or something. Maybe it's with a spouse or a friend that's constantly taking advantage of you. Maybe it's your family who like always is like taking and not ever giving. That causes dis-ease in us because we aren't being true to ourselves. And so speaking your truth is not just about standing up to authorities. If that's what your gig is, that is mine. That doesn't have to be your path. It can be standing up to those people in your life, the relationships in your life, and being able to effectively communicate with a compassionate heart, because that is what's key in shifting and changing this world. In my book, The Game of Life, I talk about how to see life differently. If you only look at the front of something, you don't know what the side or the back or the top or the bottom look like. Let's face it, that's called 3D. And that's the way we've been taught to look. Everything is black and white with a tad bit of gray. And that's just not true. Everything has color. In fact, first there was a word, and that is a vibrational frequency. That's quantum physics. That's sacred geometry, light, the sound, somatics. That is so key and so important to the way that we are moving and how we crumble the walls of Jericho, of the corruption that's in our courts and the corruption that's in these corporations. And together we can be the change. And together we are the change. By uniting and coming together, taking my course and joining my community, we are the change. And that change starts at the foundation. So what's the foundation look like? Your relationships. It starts with my course is first of all fun because it's the game of life basis is presenting it. And so you gotta have fun right there, right? It's a game. And everybody's like, I don't like playing games. Well, life is a game. And when you can start playing it and having fun, you can start attracting like a magnet the things that you want and that you desire, and you can have them in abundance. And that's what I teach you. In the course, I teach you and I show you the true essence of divine law. In the state, in the Declaration of Independence, it's called the Laws of Nature and Nature's God. And it talks about the powers of the earth. It separates man from people because there is a difference. And we know that by going to the definitions in the constitutions, state constitutions, the ones that I've seen, start with Almighty God, showing that because it's in the preamble, the placing of that shows that it's superior law, superior to all man made. And then I show you evidence of where I can confirm it time and time and time again. God is in every contract, whether you like it or not, whether you want to call it source, chi, chai, universe, Mother Earth. It doesn't matter what title you give it. Just like, I don't care if you call me Kathy or Kathleen, doesn't really matter, doesn't say who I am, the essence of who I am. So that's a title, um, you know? And so if you're going to get caught up on that, probably not the course for you. And I'm probably not the coach for you either. I'm going to help you see beyond all of that and to really open your eyes in a new way. And you might already have your eyes open. You might say, I know about the birth certificate fraud, this, that, and the other. I'm going to show you the definition of every state constitution, where it came from, when it came from there, why it came from there, and how to stand up and take back and claim your birth certificate away from the state. I'm going to show you how to stand up to Child Protective Services and others. And this overreaching government, to put them in their place. They are our servants. They are our footstool, as the Bible says. So does our foot have shit on it or not? Depends on the situation, really, doesn't it? So yeah, I am going to have some fun. We're going to roll the dice. We're going to get used to that familiar, what you call comfort maybe, is familiar. It's a familiar misery for most. If you're in an abusive relationship, whether it's work, overworking you, taking you, oh, you got to work these extra hours to keep that job. Bullshit. I mean, that's just BS. You know? No, you don't. If they want you to work extra hours, whether you're salary or not, they can pay you for that. Or you go home. Which one would they prefer? And having that, the person that came in after me, after I was working 50, 60 hours a week, being a single mom, came in and he took his lunch and he left at 5. He worked no more than 40 hours, probably less, and got praises out the galore and more than I did. So don't put up with that. If you're in that kind of situation, that's an abusive bully work situation and it's not okay. It's time for us to stand up and let our bosses know and let management executives and everything know how to speak their truth. Maybe they're being bullied by the government or by pharma. Maybe they get bonuses from pharma. Who knows? The chemical companies with American Water and all of them, they're getting paid some big buckaroos. They kind of like that. You know, the jets and the extra houses and all the material goods. Except what happens when, I don't know, accountability comes and we, the people, know how to use our divine rights. And that's what I teach you. So who am I and why does this matter? I am somebody who stood up to my employer, Pfizer, over 156 times in writing that I can document and show you. I stood up to them face to face on Zoom. I went in, shook their hand, and introduced myself so they would know exactly who I was. They went test free, vax free. I have a letter that shows. And not because of me, I didn't get credit, of course, but I did stand up and I can show you all the documentation. Not only that, but I stood to the state, local, and county health department as well as the school board. Some of the people stepped down, and when I tell you the name, that's going to really make it funny. But I can tell you one of the things they did, and that doesn't mean anything. How did I get there? Really, how did I get there? I had an amazing father. My father told me to question everyone and everything since I was a little girl, and I got rewarded when I did, although I always had to do it with respect and a compassionate heart. And uh, and then I got rewarded because I knew more than sometimes the person that was trying to be the authority. See, if you're a teacher, you're also a student. You should be learning as well as teaching. Always. We should always be learning. If we're not growing, we are dying. And that's a law. It's one of the universal laws that I'll be teaching. And this course is fun again. But also, what my dad did is he had encouraged me to treat everyone as my equal unless they're, of course, in government. And then they have, or public servant. A teacher, for instance, they work for the public. Our tax dollars pay for them. Therefore, it's not their classroom. It is ours. So standing up, the foundation is the moms going in there and saying, look, I don't agree with your political values. And so you're going to need to remove them from your room because this is not your room. This is my room. It is much my room as it is, and more so than yours. So you're going to remove it and you're going to actually teach what you're hired to teach and not your political bullshit. Okay. Of course, with a compassionate heart, always. And a smile helps. So also going to the principal and going to the school boards and just saying, hey, look, clean up your classroom, clean up the garbage that's in some of these books and everything. We're not going to go along with the agenda and we're going to start holding you accountable. If we have to make claims against your insurance on your homeowners or whatever we have to do, I'm going to show you how to do that. It's equity. It's all that we're equal. So why am I so passionate about this? I grew up in a great childhood. And it's not easy standing up to bullies. It's something that just has to come up in you. But you are the foundation. If you're a mom or a dad, you are the foundation, whether it's standing up to your employer or whether it's standing up and being respectful to your spouse or to your children. Children are bullying parents now and like, I'm going to do this or that. They need discipline. And, it's time to take back our homes and to have a family unit and to be able to effectively communicate. That's where the foundation is. Schools are the next foundation. So standing up to the teachers, standing up to the coaches that are out of line, that are having almost heart attacks, yelling at 7-year-olds. I mean, come on, people. Tell that guy to go to the emergency room, have his heart attack there, but not on the field with your 7-year-old. Okay? I mean, you can be funny about it. And then standing up to maybe work and just setting your boundaries and having you don't have to be mad about it. It's just having that way to communicate effectively. So what happened to me is I got married to a doctor, an elite, And I had a beautiful home with a jacuzzi that flowed over into the pool on a ski lake. And it was orange grove in the front. And it was beautiful. And then we had a beach house right on the beach in New Smyrna. And life was, oh, and country clubs. Yeah, we belonged to the country clubs and all that. And I learned how to golf. And I golfed all the time. I mean, what else was I going to do? And so most people would be like, oh, she has a perfect life, other than the occasional black eye and getting strangled and kicked and stuff like that, which was not okay. But I had to keep my voice quiet because if I spoke up, I was certain to get a beating. But that's okay because then I could go shopping. Sick mind. That's a sick mind. Okay. I'm going to do something horrible, but then you're going to get rewarded with material bullshit. Okay. That's a sick mind. So during that time, I lost my dad. I lost my brother. It was only 3 years. I moved 5 times. I went back to school and got a postgraduate paralegal. I am not an attorney. I do not give legal advice. Paralegal certificate. I ended up with that like an 89. My brother died during that time. It's a crash course paralegal postgraduate certification. So I have to give myself some grace on that one. But the point is, something inside me just could not stay quiet. And so there's a faith that is inside of us. It's a spark that is in there that's been dimmed down by our society. I call society in my book, The Game of Life, I call it the villain. And that's because society has done a tremendous job with their programming and with their dumbing us down and our limitations and our self-doubt and our self-worth. Do you know when you cut yourself down or you allow yourself to be cut down, you're not an honor to yourself, to your creator, to the bully? To be an honor to trifecta, right? You have to show the bully that, hey, yeah, you can't treat me like that. And that teaches that bully that they can go back to their bully and have that boundary and to speak their truth or to remove themselves from the situation. I did remove myself from the situation and I didn't take any of the money. There's a lot of money. There's a lot of material things on the table. It's never worth your life. It's just not worth it. You know what? If that's what made him happy, you go wallow in that money and the beach houses and all the material BS that goes along with it, because I don't need that. I need love. I need respect. I need compassion. I need kindness. That's what I teach you. The basics of what your values are, to stick to your values. And I always made it. I always landed on my feet. I got knocked down time and time again. I'm only telling you a few of them, but I always got back up. And why I got back up and how I got back up is because my faith in something greater than I, and definitely not another man. I don't worship another man. And when someone tries to have jurisdiction of my body, yeah, that's a heck no. It's a hard heck no. There's other words I'd like to use. But anyway, it's a no. It's a no to no. And it's not saying, it's how you say it. So everything's a contract. I go over that. I go over the 9 elements of a contract and I do it private. What it means to be I am is in private. What it means to be public and your game piece on the board, and knowing the difference and being able to stand in that knowing. So you know when you want your privileges and benefits, and you know when you want your rights. Rights are not ours unless we claim them. Let's stand together, claim our rights, reclaim our rights, and invoke superior law, laws of nature, nature's God, and revoke all else. So together, we are the change. I hope that, I do great coaching. Not a coach that's going to hold your hand and say, it's okay. I'm the coach who, like, if you want to win, if you want to move ahead, if you want to be the most successful in whatever it is you're doing, I'm the coach you want. Okay. Because I'm going to help you get there and I'm going to work with you to get you there. So, and if you want my course, well, we're going to have some fun in that. We're building a community and we're not going to be a little drop in the, I might be a little drop right now, but the momentum is building. We're going to be a force to be reckoned with. And I'll tell you about how the walls of Jericho fell, all on universal spiritual laws. Laws of nature is what crumbled Jericho. Like that. Together we can be an atomic bomb. So hope you'll join me, like and share. And honestly, you can reach out to me. I'm not Tony Robbins. I don't have like a staff of thousands to respond to you immediately. And I don't do AI. Occasionally I play with it, but I want to keep my brain from being mush. So I do respond. So if there's a delay, don't get like hurt or offended or thinking that I'm ignoring you. Reach out again because it may have gone down and I haven't figured out that whole, like, in Facebook, it came way down. And I don't know that I've lost your connection. So be patient with me. I'm real. And roll the dice. Have some fun. Play the game of life full on. Reach out to me. Like, share, and hope you'll join me. Until next time, thanks for joining me.